Hey, this is Big Al here, and I am going to use this video to show you how to add encoders right here. It may not be on your screen, but I'll show you how to put stuff on your screen. We're going to add statistic relay so that when you look up here, you'll see how many people are actually tuned into your show and how many have tuned into your show. We are also going to go here to the tracks on the playlist, add a few songs, and I'll show you how to add some promos in here. So the first thing we're going to do to get started here, we're going to add the encoder first, or I'm going to show you how to add the encoder. We're going to hit the plus sign on the encoders thing. We will select MP3 normal, click the OK button. For the converter screen, for quality, you can either do fast sampling or you can do high quality. It doesn't really matter one way or the other. The music that we encode or that we broadcast is encoded at 128 kbps stereo, so either one of those is going to work just fine. For this example, I'm just going to use high quality. We're going to switch down here and we're going to go scroll all the way down and come back up a couple of knots, and we want to pick 128 kbps 44.1 kilohertz stereo. And these options here you can just leave how they are, because we don't, when you load up SAM, you don't want to automatically start your encoder, because if someone else is doing a show, you might mess them up. In the event that your encoder drops, the auto reconnect encoder after button, it gives you however many seconds. I would change that from 15 seconds down to 5. And then for that screen, we're good. We'll click over here on server details. Now, you're going to want to select the IceCast and then make sure IceCast 2 is checked. And in here, for the server IP, you will either get an IP address from your streaming host, or you will get a fully qualified domain name. So you would punch that in here, and then you would go down into here and put whatever the appropriate port number is. And in here, whatever password you were given, and then the mount point that's going to go into. Over here on the right, we have station details. We don't have a connection with Audio Realm because I think that they are a defunct company now. So the only thing you have to really do here is just uncheck the list on public station. You have to leave enable title streaming, because that's what sends the information to your streaming host, letting them know what song that has been played so that they can pay their royalties properly. If you want to, you can change the station name and the station description and put a web address in there, but you really don't need to because it serves no purpose. The last thing we do for the encoder is come over here to the stream archive. If you want to save your stream and upload it to a service like Mixcloud, like I do with my show, just click the save to stream thing. The file name, I just leave that the way it is, and then I make one big file for the whole thing. You can have it overwrite your session, resume the same file, or you can make a new file how often you want, or however big your MP3 file gets. For me personally, my show runs about 2 hours. It's one file. That's good enough for where I upload it to Mixcloud.com, like I said. So set those settings however you want them. Click the browse button, and we're going to browse to wherever you want to save your files. In mine, I have my A to Z radio folder, and then the stream archive folder. Once you find the folder that you want it in, just click the open button. Each session that you run is going to go into that folder. So with all of that done, click the OK button. And as you can see right here, you now have your encoder set up and ready to go. Next, we're going to move on to the statistic relay. And that's pretty straightforward. We are an IceCast, or our host is IceCast 2, so that's what we're going to use here. So select IceCast 2. Click the OK button. And the same with the encoders. You may get an IP address for your host. You may get a fully qualified domain name. Put that information here. All of that information you should have gotten from your host. And here, make sure that you check the private statistic relay button. because again, I think Audio Realm is defunct at this point. So there's no point in you trying to send this information to a service that's out there. It's just going to waste a little bit of CPU, and nobody wants to do that. After you've added all your information, click the OK button. All right, once you've clicked OK, you've got your statistic relay in place. Scroll over here. And on your status, if you don't see active, if it says inactive or any other thing, click this little button right here that forces all relays to grab your statistics. Hit that. That should change your status to active right there. All right, so we're good with that. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to the add songs into the playlist. So at the very top, if you don't have the playlist on your desktop A, just click the window button and then scroll down here and you've got playlist, queue history. There's all kinds of different things you can add here. For this example, I'm going to add auxiliary 2. If you want to play more than one promo, you would drop promo 1 into aux 1, promo 2 into aux 2, play one right after the other, and then go back to music in your deck. I'll show you that in a minute. But right now, back here to the playlists, we're going to select the tracks button, or the tracks folder rather. If you hit this drop down here to the plus, you have the option of adding a directory, which is nice because if you have a folder with all your music that's already properly tagged and ready to go, you can add that one folder and it'll add however many hundreds or thousands of songs that you've got. If you just want to add a song or two or whatever, which I'm going to do in this case, I'm just going to do add files. So I'm going to navigate to the folder where my music is. I've got Auto DJ set up for us, so I'm going to go into the Aerosmith folder, and I'm just going to select all of those songs, add all of those songs. That's how you add using the Add Files option. Now we click the Add Directory folder, and I'll do the same thing again, except when I go into that same folder, I'll just select the Billy Joel folder. That will add all of the songs in that folder. And you can see those were added. And I will do the same with the Elton John folder. Alright, so now we have 80 songs in this particular playlist. 3 artists or whatever. Okay, now that we've added all these tracks, let's go and add some stuff to the promos folder. And it doesn't matter if you put it in promos, you can put it in station ID or jingles or wherever. Just put it in one of these folders wherever you feel like putting it. You can go to the promos folder. You can create folders inside these. Typically, I just do the promos all and dump all of my promo files into that together. Navigate to where your files are. I have a folder called Promos and Sweepers. Just select both of those. Drop them in there. Easy peasy. So, having said that, let me show you real quick. If you wanted to do a quick show, for me, when I do my show, I have a show intro and a show outro. So I drop one into Auxiliary 1, drop one into Deck A, Deck B, whichever one you want to start with. It doesn't really matter. So let's throw a song up in here. We'll do Aerosmith Last Child just for giggles. So you're getting ready to start your show. You start your encoder by clicking select the encoder that you want and then click the play button. And you will see that it will go from idle. It's logging in. Now it's encoding. So I'm going to play my promo first. And just for giggles here, I'm not going to play the whole thing. If you want to fade a song out, this little button right here will fade that out. As that fades out, hit the play button on your next one. It kind of tries to do a smooth transition. When you're done with your song, it'll come to the end. Finish your show. There you go. As that's playing, fade it out. Your show is over. Make sure you come over here and stop your encoder. It'll go from encoding back to idle. Now, whatever the next DJ is ready to go on the air, they can grab the encoder and do the same thing. This was kind of a quick tutorial. I hope it was good enough to get you started on the station. Welcome aboard.